intro, the intro always gets you. You're sitting there and you start thinking. Next thing you're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Forgotten Horror Podcast. I'm Davey. As always, I've got my Horror Hombre Carlos, Eastwood for Life fan. And today we are doing, we're going back in time with this one, aren't we, Carlos? What are we doing, mate?
We are doing a video nasty cult classic. This is episode 8, and we're going to be looking at Lucio Fulci's 1979 cult classic, Zombies Flesh Eaters. I'm going to call it by the UK title.
Yeah, it did have a title called Zombie 2. Look at this. Have you seen this version? This was the 25th Region 1 DVD edition.
Nice.
A very nice edition, Carl. And I wanted to show you this on camera. So, I mean, this was an exclusive release back in the day. And it's got 2 discs full of goodies, but it's the you get like a little chapter card as well, the index card, which is nice. But this was the pièce de résistance. You got a poster. Bit, and then if you can see, signed by Fulci.
Wow. The
pièce de résistance of that release. And so that's a nice addition. I mean, obviously that was my fully uncut, being Region 1, and it was always my go-to edition with the slipcase and a very, very nice edition. That it wasn't a limited edition or anything, but it was just a nice special edition, and that for the day was the 4K of the early 2000s, I think, that one.
Awesome.
Very nice, my friend. So our story begins when I guess we were barely into double figures of age when this came out.
Yeah.
Go
on.
No, and I remember my sister and her friends were one of her friends' boyfriends at the time, because there was a gang of them. He come in and he went, "Got some good viewing tonight." He said, "Here we are," and I was like,
wow.
"Oh right." I thought, well,
VHS. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's the, and it was the one, the strong uncut version. You know, because they released 2. They released a preset which was same cover without the strong uncut, and it was slightly trimmed with some of the gore. But he got the strong uncut version, and he said, "Oh, we'll be on for some tonight anyway." And I can't remember what else they picked, because they picked about 2 or 3 for the night. Some other films, but this one, and I looked at the cover and I went, yeah, I'll give that a whirl with him. From the moment it come on, you could tell it was the Italian. It was just a different feel from what I'd seen previous. So it could have been, this one might have been actually my first proper Italian horror that I ever watched.
Okay.
It had a profound effect on me, because I never watched a lot of the Italian horrors then in the early 80s when they were released. I saw them years later, but I did see this one, and I did see a couple of his, obviously, City of the Living Dead and The Beyond and The House by the Cemetery and Tenebrae. I saw a couple of them, but this was the first one, and it never left me, Carlos, because it was so powerful.
You might need to cut that out. Tenebrae was done by Argento.
Yeah, but it's still an Italian though, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I get what you mean. Sorry. I mean, my memory on Zombie Flesh Eaters, I probably think might be my first Italian horror movie. I'd seen Dawn of the Dead at a friend's house, so that was my first zombie movie. Nothing will touch that. For me, that's the ultimate zombie movie.
Yeah,
it's in my it's in my top 10 horror movies. Romero's classic.
Probably like my top 3 or top 5 easy for me.
And so then we joined a video shop. It was an independent store. It was called Video Madness. So I was in that video store straight after school, looking at the covers, the gory covers, the action-packed covers, and obviously this is the Arrow edition.
Yeah, beautiful.
And they did have 2 covers. They did have this one, and they did have that one.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get this one because it was the original artwork, as we got on UK VHS, and it titled as Zombie Flesh Eaters.
Yeah.
And that cover, just looking at that cover from back in the day, I thought, God, I've got to see that movie. What is that movie about?
Yeah.
And while Dawn of the Dead's got kind of my favourite zombie scene is the shopping mall with this movie, Zombie Flesh Eaters. It's on an island. You get the cemetery scenes, and I never forgot those scenes because they were gory. I mean, but they were done in a quite a different fashion to Romero's one, which was in the shopping mall. That was based in the US.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a completely different look. I mean, I know the Italians, they wanted to kind of build this as Zombie 2 because Dawn of the Dead, when it got released in Italy,
the Zombie, wasn't it?
The Argento version, it was titled Zombie.
That's
so
right.
this movie, they wanted to put it as Zombie 2. This is where it started getting confusing.
Yeah.
And it was something that they did with a special kind of sort of lore. They could bill it as a sequel. There was some sort of a law that they could do that of somebody else's body of work. I mean, that certainly wouldn't happen in today's world of of movies. And I think Fulci, he did not like that idea because his whole idea was he was going to do a zombie movie on an island, very similar to the old classic I Walk with Zombie.
That's right.
You know, with the voodoo element sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
He wanted to do his own thing. He didn't really want to kind of rip off Romero's work. I mean, this is okay. It's low budget, but you know, with the gore, they really got round it quite a bit because of some fantastic gory scenes and iconic scenes for a cult movie, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, when I watched it, I mean, one of the first things, obviously, we've just discussed that the look of the movie was completely different to like the Dawn of the Dead. I mean, it was just a completely contrast. But when you watch this Italian one, you think, what? It comes on, and you swear it was in Italy, but it's in New York, and it comes on in the harbour, doesn't it? And it's New York, and you think it doesn't even look American. It just, you can tell the production's Italian, with the dubbing and with the voices of the regular actors that are used, and it comes on, and then from the moment they go into the sailing boat, there's something about Fulci's films where they're really gnarly. They're the effects, and they go in the boat and there's like rotten food with maggots all over it, and you think, and I'm like, oh. Straight away, your stomach starts turning. You think, "Oh God!" And you can imagine the smell of the plate. Oh hell, bells! Anyway, and then they get the 2 coppers come on and they get bit, and the big fat zombie with the bald head bite. Hell's bells! From the get go, I was like, as a kid, I was like, this is gonna, this is gonna be like, this is gonna be a tough watch from the get-go, and so it progressed. We start getting introduced to the main protagonists. It's like the daughter of a scientist is trying to reach her dad, and there's a reporter that joins up with her, and then they join up with another couple. Now, one of the other couple, the blonde-haired fella with the beard. Now, me being a fan of early 80s action films, he was in a couple of good ones. He was called Al Cliver, and he was in an action film called Endgame. And I loved, even to this day, Endgame. I've got it on VCC somewhere. Endgame, and I loved him as a leading role. He had the beard, the blonde hair, and he was a great role. He was also in a Warner Brothers film, and it was called Hearts and Armor, where it was knights fighting the Christians and the Moors, and he was one of the knights in that. But in this, he played a pretty good part in this as well. Al Cliver, a bit of an unsung hero. I think Al Cliver was his American name, you know, because obviously he was probably some Giovanni or somebody in in his own country, but they sold him as Al Cliver in the UK and probably America. But that's they have the four of them, and they go off, don't they? And they go in search of what's happening there on the island.
The island of Matul. The island of Matul. And I think, well, you've got that scientist there, Dr. Maynard, played by Richard Johnson, a British actor.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And obviously there's a lot of, some sort of a hospital going on there. And he won't accept that, the dead are returning, and some of the locals are saying it's a voodoo thing, and he just won't accept it.
No,
he's doing all these experiments. He's got these locals all wired up, and is it some sort of infection going on, and he's trying to prove them wrong, and he's fighting a losing battle, really. I mean, even his wife, she doesn't kind of believe, she doesn't actually kind of support him. I mean, she's kind of housed quite a distance away. She wants to get off the island straight away. What was her name? Paula Maynard. She wants to get off. I mean, they have a bit of an argument. I mean, I did laugh at that kind of Italian-styled filming, that slap with that sound effect. The Italians always make it sound like it's a Rocky punch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it was an absolute crash, and I mean, this was quite a mixed cast, because you had two British actors. You had the guy who played Peter West, Ian McCulloch. He was there. He's in the movie, and obviously you got Mia Farrow's sister.
Yeah.
Teaser Farrow.
Teaser Farrow, yeah, absolutely.
And then I think that the Brian's girlfriend, the one in the bikini, I think she was an Italian actress who plays, I think her name was Susan.
Yeah.
And obviously Paula Maynard, I think she was either German or Greek. So you had a bit of a mixed load of nationalities in this movie, and you can see it because of the dubbing as well.
Yeah,
but, I think it adds to it.
It does.
I think my main issue with this one, while it's never going to be better than Dawn of the Dead or one or two of the other zombie movies that I highly rate. The bit that was a little bit difficult for me to get over. I mean, I didn't mind it during the VHS days because I kind of forgot about it. It's only when somebody lent it to us on Blu-ray that the movie really dropped quite a bit down for me.
Yeah.
But then obviously seeing it on the 4K, I mean, I've got to be honest, Arrow Video, the transfer of this, I don't want to get too more technical, was unbelievable. It was very, very sharp. And I do say that a lot of the old movies, when they do get transferred on the 4K, if they've spent time on it, can look remarkable rather than modern day movies getting the 4K.
Yeah.
But one of the iconic scenes that I had a job to kind of accept was the shark versus zombie scene. I can't. This time around, watching it, I kind of sort of thought, well, you know, maybe it's the Italians of trying to get a little bit of sneaky promotion and say, well, you know, off the Jaws movies sort of success that we've got a zombie in our movie going at it with a shark. I mean, I know some people dislike that scene. I'm in that camp where I dislike it because I think it looks a bit too comedic. But then there's a lot of fans out there, they love that scene.
When I first saw that scene, Carlos, this is one of the two main scenes really. That the zombie, she goes down in that bikini that's just not even a bikini. She goes down, so everyone's eyes are on the bikini, I'm sure. I mean, let's just get that out there. Her bikini is like, it deserves its own sequel. So she goes down, and next thing, there's a tiger shark. Is it a tiger shark or a bull shark? I think it's a tiger shark with the stripes on. I think, could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that's a real shark. And I think, okay. And at the time, this was daring because the guy playing the zombie was the shark wrangler. He was supposed to be a shark expert, as you will. Yeah. So you could see how he was handling it under the water, the touch and the way it was. You could see it fed stuff to it, you know. But I thought that was a really, really, I mean, it could have been. I mean, it could have been like, let's just try and get in the Jaws action at that time, you know. But Jaws 2 was out the year before. Yeah. So I'm sure there was we would get a shark scene in this. But it's so inventive though, mate. Could you imagine that today? Right, we're going to get a woman in a bikini going under the water. There's a real tiger shark coming, and we're going to have it battling with a zombie where the shark bites the zombie's arm, and then the zombie bites the shark back. Yeah. Could you imagine that? It'd just be...
It'd be CGI completely.
Oh, I tell you. I mean, that's one of the things I like about the scene. Yes, it's hokey, and when you look at it, you go, but I appreciate it for what it was. I mean, I appreciated, and back then, Carlos, we hadn't seen anything, so it was pretty frightening. To a 10-year-old watching it, I was like, to a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, like, oh, what is this I'm watching? You know, and I think the majority of people were sticking up for the shark to eat the zombie because the zombie was the bad guy.
Yeah.
But that was a scene though, and you think about that, you think that was a lot of preparation, especially for an Italian cheap low budget horror film.
Yeah, it could have gone. Could have gone completely wrong. I mean, if newbies watched it today, I think they'll be shocked. I mean, they'll be like, they'd probably think, is that really a shark?
Yeah.
In that scene, I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, the shark, he was manhandled by a shark trainer. Yes, probably the shark was sedated and drugged a little bit. It might have been a little bit dozy. But
well fed.
It's still the idea. Does it look comedic?
Animal.
Yeah, I mean, is it comedic? Yeah, it is a bit comedic. Personally, for me, I would have taken the scene out and probably would have had more zombies in the cemetery and in the on the island. But
yes,
the Italian producers they wanted to do something a bit different. I mean, I'm hearing Fulci again. He wasn't a fan of that idea because you know he could be an awkward director. But I've come to sort of now kind of agree. You know, it was something completely different.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
unique.
Yes, yeah.
First time.
So I think both of us can look past the what shoulda, coulda, woulda of it and just accept it for the fact that it was inventive, original, and it did provoke a lot of emotion from people. So yeah. So right, yeah. I mean, that scene happened, and I was like, oh, so okay, so this, and again. The other scene that was a talking point was the eyeball scene, wasn't it? I mean, it's got to be said. The eyeball scene's quite horrific, and I think it's more psychological as well because, like, she fends the zombies off. This is the scientist's wife because she's isolated in that nice little mansion they've got. She, like you said, she wants to get out of there because she believes the dead are coming back and she's not safe. So she's trying to lock the doors, and then there's this zombie that just gets through there, and yeah, it's like slow motion. It grabs the hair, isn't it? And the splinter in the eye, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way that the Italians, they ramped up the tension with the music.
It really was. It was a long drawn out.
Yeah, I mean, like
going in the eye. There was like, oh no. And my sister was squirming. It won't show it. It won't show it. It won't show it. Strong uncut version bloody well did show it. Get on the spike there in the eye.
I mean, even watching it today, I was kind of like sort of a little bit like that because you could really feel it, sort of. Well, not necessarily, not really actually feeling it, but you could imagine something like that would be cool. I mean, Fulci's always had this thing in his movies about all these eyeballs and stuff like that.
Oh, maggots, eyeballs, all that.
Yeah, I mean, no question about it. It's another talking point of the movie for me. That scene, because
absolutely,
like you say, you don't think it's going to happen until when it does happen. It's like, wow.
Because the cut version doesn't show it yet. That was out. You see, it was like, so people were thinking, oh well, it's not going to show it. It's not going to show it. And I remember the outcry of my sister's friends. Oh, they were horrified. They were like, oh, and that's the reaction that these films got back then, because there was nothing. We hadn't seen anything like this stuff before, and it was completely over the top. There was like, I think one of them ran out to the toilet. They were going to be sick, and it was too much, and they had to have a glass of water or something, and they just let's have 10 minutes. It's like an interval.
Absolutely. I mean, did the BBFC, they cut a couple of 2 minutes or so, a minute and a half from the movie, and sometimes when you get like newbie movie fans, when they watch these movies, these old movies from 20, 30, 40 years ago, they're sort of like, oh, well, I didn't think it was that bad. And then I always say, well, you've got to remember, this is a 1979 movie.
Show me another one like that.
When this movie came out, the movies that we had before, early that decade, were kind of like the Hammer movies. We had The Exorcist and The Omen. They were kind of like the two horrific, gory type movies that came. But then when the zombie movies, Romero's Dawn of the Dead, and this one came out, it ramped it up quite a bit. And it's a video nasty for the right reason, because of the horrific scenes in it and the gore.
I mean, there's another scene that is another talking point as well. It's where the bikini lady, shall we call her, she gets killed. She gets bit.
Oh, I love that scene.
I did a short on my channel. I did a little short, and I added the music and that. And here we go. I'll reenact. I won't put my bikini on, but I'll reenact.
Don't do that.
He comes up, doesn't he? And they can add your music. And he's coming out the ground, and he's like that. You know what I mean? And I thought to myself, I could have made a bloody cup of tea by the time he bit her, because he just stands there frozen, and like my sister and her friends like, run. Just run. You don't even have to run. You can just walk away. Just walk away. You can't catch her. He's getting out the ground. Just walk away. And she's like, just frozen. She just froze. She's like, she's in it. And I said, well, she could have easily got away. But the point was, he homed in on the neck, and that's what Fulci wanted. The neck and that bite.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, tell me about when you saw that.
I love that scene. That's probably my favourite scene in the movie. I mean the first zombie that we see on the boat. That was that the big guy. I mean, I always thought he was like a wrestler. He always reminded me of King Kong Bundy from the WWF days.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause he was massive.
yeah, he was huge,
And
wasn't he? Put me and you
he,
together, and he'd be there.
he was massive. I mean, like even if he wasn't a zombie, he was just a human. You wouldn't stand a chance.
No, it's like
But
King Kong Kirk from British wrestling.
but the scene with the bikini girl, what was her name? I forgot her name now. Susan,
Yeah,
bikini girl, the
yeah,
Italian actress. I love that scene because she obviously, now kind of the movie. I mean, people say it's slow paced. I don't think it's slow paced. They're just building the story. But from that scene when that zombie gets out of the ground, that's when it's on. That's when it really the zombies are start. They're coming out of the cemetery. You can
yeah.
see them in the local village. They're coming.
Yeah, that scene when the it's like it reminds me of a western. You know, when the tumbleweeds are
Yeah,
going round,
yeah,
and it starts to got that western feel to it. And you see the corpses walking really slow, and they're spaced out. And he's in his hospital doing his blood transfusions and still not believing it. And he's shooting the odd ones in the head, and he's just like he's like a mad scientist.
yeah.
And that scene, though, so atmospheric, where the tumbleweeds are blowing. I thought that reminds me of a western
Mm.
with the dust and that. And what a scene!
Well, Lucio Fulci actually directed a couple of three spaghetti westerns: Massacre Time with Franco Nero in
Oh,
'66,
yeah,
for the Apocalypse with Thomas Milian in the '70s, and Silver Saddle. And again, these Italian directors, they were doing these movies. I mean, Fulci, he'd done spaghetti westerns, he'd done Eurocrime, he'd done giallo movies. Whatever was the fashion, these Italian directors and producers would be ripping it
yeah. They just,
off.
they just go for it, didn't they?
Yeah.
That scene, though, that was an amazing scene, though. It really was another talking point. It was like, oh, wow.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
And I do kind of like it when, obviously, the outbreak of the zombies, they're going everywhere now, and they've actually, they come in the village. The odd one or two are in the hospital are waking up, and it's like it's obviously,
Hopeless, isn't it? It's just
it,
hopeless.
yeah. I mean, it's a hopeless battle. I mean, Brian with his shotgun, the guy with the beard. I mean, he takes a fair few of them out, and if you would have been watching that movie for the first time, your odds would have been on him as kind of the hero and probably the one who was going to get away.
Yeah,
But obviously not. I mean, he gets his.
yeah,
And then it's really kind of down to Ian McCulloch's character
yeah,
and Teaser Farrow.
yeah.
They're up against it, and they're throwing all these kind of like these made up petrol bombs
Yeah, it's like
and bottles and
Molotov
stuff.
cocktails, aren't they?
Yeah,
Just throwing them at them.
but yeah,
But it does.
I love the gore. I love the gore in this. I got to be honest. I mean, the guy who done the gore, the Italian guy, I can't remember his
Oh,
first name.
they
Del
always,
Rossi. Del
yeah,
Rossi.
they always turn your stomach to go. But
I think he needs to be not recommended, but like applauds to him
yeah,
because on
oh,
this low,
definitely,
I mean, the low budget. I mean, it was what $500,000 the
yeah,
budget was, and I
yeah,
think it earned about $3 million or something, and it double tripled what they
yeah,
got in return. And for a low budget movie, I mean, even the soundtrack, it's typical late 70s, early
yeah,
80s type of soundtrack, but
yeah.
it works. It works for the
Oh, yeah,
movie. It does.
it does. It does. I always feel that it's quite claustrophobic. You know, the more it goes on, the traps everywhere they go, they feel trapped, and it's
Yeah.
claustrophobic, and they could get bit from anywhere. Even though these zombies walk at like half a mile an hour, they're like
Yeah.
slower than slow. I mean, they are really slow. I mean, you could just scroll through them. But it's the fact that when they don't seem to be like moving at all, then they bite you. You know what I mean? It's just like it feels very claustrophobic. I got the impression of being very boxed in. I mean, I didn't quite like that because I thought you wanted them to get out and get on the beach and run past them like you did with Dawn of the Dead, but no, they were trapped there, weren't they?
These zombies, they seem to sort of hide in the shadows. Like, you know, they'd come out of one room and they were there. You know, because like, and then sort of like they'd be trying to climb through the window and stuff. It was quite funny, and I like the look of the zombies. Obviously, you look at Romero's zombies, and people say that's some fans. It's their gripe that some of the zombies look a little bit blue,
green,
a bit bluey green. Where these zombies are kind of like they look like they've made out of crusty clay, and they've got maggots and worms coming out, and like
it's very visceral, isn't it? Very. You can see, they do look like they've been dug up.
Yeah, they look like they look like they've been in the ground as well. So
that's got the win there for the look, the aesthetic of it. I mean, you know, it's like that mask that I got, the mask here that I've got. I mean, got the worms in the eyes. You know what I mean? It's all and the teeth. I mean, you swear that's going to open its eye and look at you. You know what I mean? I mean, come on. So you got the makeup there.
You got the drums in the background as well, and it's like a real, I think it's got a bit of a voodoo feel to it. I mean, I think the Germans, that they called the movie Voodoo, just voodoo on its own, which kind of fits well. I mean, I've also heard another title. Was it Nightmare Island? So this movie had quite a few titles depending where you were in the world.
You can certainly see the influence from I Walk with a Zombie, with the voodoo approach to it, with the witch doctors and stuff and all that what that was carrying on. And because you don't see any like real witch doctors in the film, but you hear the fable, you hear the tales from the staff, the voodoo priest is saying this and this, and you think, oh wow, it just added another flavor to this film. It's still, to me, it's not as good as Dawn of the Dead and a couple of others, but it's certainly memorable for the things you want it to be memorable for. It certainly give your emotions and your stomach a run for its money, didn't it? With the bits that happened in it.
Yeah, I mean the gore. I mean, like I say, I mean for the budget and what they had in doing this, obviously Romero's Dawn of the Dead had a much bigger budget. It's a larger scale movie, and it's funny because the way that the Italians marketed this movie, like I said, they wanted to put it as a Dawn of the Dead sort of sequel by calling it Zombie 2. And even on certain scenes, they try to make it a little bit. They try to get a bit of TNA in there. That probably brings the cost of it down a little bit because I'd heard that Fulci wanted the bikini girl topless. She didn't want to do the scene. Again, that was another sort of selling point. A bit of controversy. A bit of TNA on there, and as the Italian movies would do, they wanted to make them a little bit more violent, more gory. And I think it added to the movie quite a bit. Like I say, it's got a massive cult following, and some people out there actually prefer this one to Dawn of the Dead. Me not personally.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that have commented on like the video nasty vids that I've been doing, and they've just gone straight for zombie flesh eaters. You know what I mean? Oh, that film. I remember when this and it. So it deserves its flowers and its props and everything that it gets because it is a classic and it was on Section 1, so it was one of the heavy hitters. So there you go. I mean, the very last scene though, you just think to yourself, they've escaped, don't they? And they get back to and you see the bridge, and there's cars just going. It's chaos, and then there's the radio reporter, and there's one coming in the room, and you just think there's nowhere safe. They've obviously reached.
I
Yeah.
kind of like that because people say, "Oh, maybe the budget. They didn't have the budget to do anything in New York." But they had those 30-odd zombies on the bridge walking slow. I mean, if anybody was driving underneath and looking up, they must have thought, "What the bloody hell's going on up there?" sort of thing.
That was probably
But
the reaction. They probably saw them and thought, "Oh God, we're out of here." So
but
he just recorded the cars in the panic, getting out. What the hell's going on up there?
I mean, you can tell that wasn't sort of planned. Obviously, they probably didn't get permission. I mean, it was just a couple of shots for the ending of the movie. But it was a good ending because obviously they leave the island with one zombie that they want to take back with them as proof in what they've experienced. Um, but again,
There's a bunch of live ones waiting for.
but yeah, I mean, obviously when they get there, I mean, like, to be honest, it could have actually worked as a prequel to Dawn of the Dead.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
Quite easy. I mean, I even like I do like the opening scene because even though again they've not got the budget, but I thought that's quite iconic when they sort of filming those scenes in New York. They're on the boat with the helicopter, and you can see
I did
Empire
hear,
State
Carlos.
Building.
They filmed obviously the end scene on the bridge, and then they went into the
Yeah,
scene at the beginning. They filmed all, and I believe, if I'm not, I could be wrong, but I think I heard the Coast Guard or they went out after them because they didn't have permission. They were like they were getting shooed away, and they well, we're just filming this, we're just doing this because there's a yacht in there, you know what I mean? So, and I do think whoever it is, the patrol, the water patrol or the Coast Guard, or whatever, they were onto him and they were shooting him off, but they got the scenes, and that was the most daring part of the film, I think, because you can see how, you can just see how quick, boom, 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 gone, you know.
I do like that opening because I thought that's quite inventive, even though they've not got the budget. Like I say, you get the Twin Towers, you get the Empire State Building there as well. As brief
And
as it is,
and you don't think it's America at all. If your eyes are deceiving you, you think it's Italy somewhere, but it is. But that's because the filmmaking just totally is the Italian flavor, which is amazing.
Yeah. I think they did film some in Italy, and they also filmed in the Dominican Republic, which probably would have been mostly the jungle scenes,
the islands,
beach
and
scenes.
that,
I would have thought, but like I say, I mean, for the budget that they had, they done really well. They done really well on this.
That was the difference between filmmaking in the 70s and the filmmaking now. That was far more adventurous than anything that could come out now, on that sort of a budget anyway, because they had the passion and the drive to get to them locations. There was no CGI, there was nothing. It was all just shot on location, and you might have a few scenes in a studio somewhere, but no, they were out there, weren't they? They were out there. They were out there filming it. So anyway,
like I say, the special effects again, I think they were literally top notch.
Oh,
I mean, again,
sure.
I mean, people might complain about the dubbing and the acting, but the special effects for 1979, it's got a real wow factor.
Up there.
If anyone's not seen it, go
you
into
don't forget it. You don't forget them. You don't forget them scenes. Very, very memorable, and that's for a reason, because they're so well done.
Iconic cult classic.
Another one done, mate. Yes. So I think we talked through this one. I think that's it, isn't it, Carlos?
That's episode 8. I think I'll do a mention on episode 9.
Do an episode 9, mate. I was going to ask you what have you got coming up?
So coming up for more horror movie memories, we're going to go with episode 9, and we're going to go with another Brian De Palma movie. One from the early 1980s. It's kind of like a psychological, erotic giallo thriller. So, guys, if you know what the movie is, put it in the comments section. That's the next one that we're going to be doing. and I look forward to doing that with another special guest who's going to be returning to the horror podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Carlos. Again, this has been another great trip down memory lane, mate. This is brilliant. So thank you so much for watching. Check out that Arrow edition that Carlos has shown there. Highly, highly recommended. Great film. And if you've not seen it, you're in for a treat. So again, thank you so much for watching. And if you've not already, check out what Carlos is doing on his channel and his other podcasts that he does. And that's going to do it for this one. So thank you very much, everybody. Carlos, take it out.
And we'll see you all in episode 9.
Cheers, everybody.
Guys.